What's up, guys? It's Quicksilver here, and man, I've been busy. Been playing a lot with 1.6, which came out, if you guys watched my last video, kind of in the middle of the chicken farm project. So as you can see here, I've thrown down some carpeting inside the base, just kind of bringing some things up to 1.6 specs, I guess you'd call it. So yeah, nothing really major going on in here. The one thing I think that we're going to do today, well, I guess two things actually we're going to do today. I guess number one, I've been doing a lot of building while I was not with you guys, and so what I've done to further the chicken farm is I have actually begun, as you can see down there, building our giant chicken. Now normally I wouldn't do something like that off camera with you guys, but I feel like, I kind of showed you the bare bones of it in the last video. So rather than try and do a whole video, which is going to be a lot of me swearing and trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to put here and how do I need to build this, and back and forth between my reference, I thought I would just go ahead and build him in here. And because I already outlined the timing system that we're going to need for this thing, I thought I would go ahead and do that as well. So this is this is going to be our chicken farm that I'm going to build in here. I have actually finished this thing in my contraption world, so I know that I'm going to be able to build it all encased within that thing, so we should be in pretty good shape. Just to explain some stuff, these blocks that are on the outside here, I placed those as just kind of extents for myself. When I just had the feet there, I didn't have a really good vision for how big this guy was going to be or where he was going to be standing, so I went ahead and just threw these down. Just to show you some stuff that I'm probably going to leave in here. This is our vertical wiring. I also made some red clay bricks. These are actually the hardened clay bricks in my texture pack. I used those just kind of to, well, just because A, I could use them, but number two, I wanted to have things that were going to stand out a little bit for myself when I was working on this stuff. So here's what I have on the inside right now. This is actually connected to our 20-minute timer. The delay is down the bottom. And I needed to build this guy, and the biggest reason that I did this off camera was I needed to have some frame of reference for where I needed to put the chicken receptacle, I guess you can call it, up here, and then where the cooker is going to be, which is kind of in the middle of his back here. One good thing that I did realize and kind of figure out is that my original plan was the 20-minute timer was going to connect to our cooker, and then I was going to connect another timer off of that so that we would only dispense chickens in the 20-minute time that was there as well, so that we wouldn't be cooking any baby chickens. But it has occurred to me that when you have a half slab, which is what I'll have the chicken standing on so that I can have their drops go right down into my hopper chain, if I've got a half slab sitting on top of that thing so that the chickens are actually underneath the lava, they're a half block underneath it. Well, baby chickens are only half a block high, so when I spit out my lava, and I've tested this in my test world, when I spit out my lava, if there are baby chickens there, they don't get cooked at all, just the big ones. So I don't think I need to worry about having a separate timing system, which is a great big old help, because now what I can do is I can just have the chicken eggs come in from here and get fed into the dispenser and just immediately dispense into the cooking area. And then every 20 minutes this thing will fire off and we'll go ahead and we'll cook our chickens at that point. So I will go ahead and show you under here. This is my redstone access panel that I've got down here. I'm probably gonna have to do something different with the ground here because I don't want to get any Endermen in there. I needed to build a significantly longer hopper chain than what I had done in the test world. When I did the math on these things, I think that items pass from one hopper to another. It's like 2.5 items a second. So when you multiply that by the whatever 64 times 5 math works out to, and then divide that by 60 for a minute, it basically ends up to about, I think it was like 2.5 minutes or something like that. Maybe it was a little different, 2.3 or something minutes. Yeah, I guess it was 10 of these things gives us 21.3 minutes. So I went ahead and we've got 5 of these things on each side. Oops. Keep bumping into that ladder. So we've got 5 of these little hopper timer chain things working on either side, and they really only need to be 2 wide, but in order to make it so that they didn't cross wire, as I explained last time, we had to add in this extra little hopper here. So these guys are about to get passed across over to there and then on around. If you notice while I'm in here, you probably may hear a bat, and the reason you're hearing that is down here underneath here somewhere. I haven't really done it yet. I haven't really given a good look yet, but there is actually a big old open chamber down here. So I want to get, eventually I'll probably dink around under here and dig down and find that thing and light it up. But I'm not too worried about it now. Anyway, as a little refresher, once the items get down over to here, and this is at about the 20-minute mark, we're pulling power off that block, and we've got a little pulse shortener, or whatever, not really a shortener. I guess the basic premise of this is when this thing gets power into here, we send a quick pulse into here, or we send the quick pulse here, which turns this on, off, which then lets this come on, and then immediately we send power back into here, well, not immediately, but 4 ticks later, and that turns the torch back off. So we get a little flicker here instead of a constant on state. The power then goes into here, and we have, this is our vertical wiring that goes up the back of the chicken's leg and sends power into the chicken itself. So that's how we're going to control all this stuff. But now that I've shown you that, I've got I guess the next thing, and maybe the biggest thing you've noticed, my little livestock area here where I keep things. Yeah, we don't have any chickens. So today, in addition to hopefully starting to build some of the stuff inside the chicken, we're actually going to get some chickens. So I guess oh man, why did I do that? To kind of facilitate that a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and make a little place to hold them, because I'm not worried about getting a whole ton of them, but we need to start collecting eggs so that we can populate the egg chamber up there. So yeah, so I'm just going to use a little tiny thing there. I do have some seeds on me already, so we can do that. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring some stuff with me for saddles and horse taming. So if we happen to, this is good timing, if we happen to find some horses while we're off searching for chickens, great, then we'll go ahead and we'll tame a horse and we'll bring it back here as well, and I'll tie him down to one of the fences down there for the time being. So that is the general plan for the day. Now that I've shown you the chicken, and I guess it's just a chicken sculpture right now with some holes in him, I'm going to go ahead and sleep here really quick, and then we'll head off and start trying to find some chickens to throw in there, and in the meantime maybe some horses to throw in there too. First thing I want to do though before we take off is I'm going to go ahead and give myself some leads, and I initially, oh, that's kind of obnoxious, bear with me guys, sorry there. There we go. I initially was just going to give myself 5, but I guess you get 2 leads per, so now we've got 10 leads, and we've got our saddle and all that good stuff as well, so we should be in pretty good shape. Although if, if I get I guess maybe I'll use a lead on a chicken or something to bring him back. So alright, I guess let's head off this direction and see if we can't find some plains or something on the other side of the jungle, or maybe some jungle chickens, and we'll see what we can find. Oh yeah, one other thing while we're running off here, in case we happen to hear some mobs down there. Yeah, cool. That made me think, if any of you have built a mob spawner, 1.6 does a pretty interesting little trick of breaking mob spawners. And when I say breaking, that's not really a fair statement, because they still work perfectly fine. But the new behavior characteristics of zombies is an interesting dilemma, I guess you could call it, for the traditional mob spawner. Most mob spawners, at least the ones that I've ever built, work off the premise of you spawn a bunch of mobs and then you use water or pistons or whatever it is that you want to use to direct the mobs into a common kill chamber. And that kill chamber is usually only 1 or 2 blocks wide, and you go in there, you go into your little room where you're perfectly safe. Oh, come on, really? Damn it. You go into your little room where you're perfectly safe and you beat the snot out of the mobs without any fear of them fighting back. So that's a really nice thing, but the zombie behavior, and I guess more specifically, good God, I'm doing stupid on you guys. I thought I knew where I was going. The zombie behavior throws an interesting little monkey wrench into this, because the way that, oh, damn it, what's the point? Alright, I'm going to go around this thing because I'm wasting daylight. The new behavior of zombies, of having a chance to bring in more zombies, yeah, if they do bring in zombies, they will just fabricate them from nothing. And I've actually had it happen where I was in my mob chamber, the mob farm, I guess let's call it that, that's what it is, right? I was in my mob farm and I was merrily killing mobs and smacked a zombie, and lo and behold, one of them spawned in the room next to me because I had hit his buddy. So there's definitely some interesting dynamics that are going to come out of the new zombie behavior, at least, that will be interesting to see how people deal with it. So far, it's not been a very big problem for me. I mean, I don't like it. I would prefer that it didn't happen, but it's certainly not a deal killer or anything like that. God, getting back across this is going to suck. And I guess the other thing to point out about the new, really it's zombie behaviors in general, that are sucking is, man, those guys track you from far off, man. It's something like 100 blocks away or something like that. And the only thing I can tell you for certain is I've been hanging out in my world and just hanging out down by the, like, where the livestock farms are that we just left. And zombies at nighttime, man, they'll just come out of nowhere. It's like, okay, where exactly did you guys come from? Because you weren't here a second ago, and now you're tracking me and swimming across the freaking water. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has bumped into those issues yet, but some interesting things to be aware of, to look out for. Okay, this is what I was not hoping to see over here. Good thing I brought food. Oh, that's another thing, I guess, too. Some of the texture pack updates that I made, I actually made just after, this is actually the day after I posted on my last video. So I did make some updates to my texture pack. I think the download count was only like 4 people or something, though I'm not too worried about it, and I think I know who all 4 of those people were. But I made some changes to it. If you did download it and you are on a horse and you don't see any hearts or anything like that, or then you've got the old texture pack, because I have made some updates to it. So if you're not seeing those, that was something I fixed. There were some things with like the melon stalks and stuff like that I fixed as well. And yeah, so anyway, I think it's all up and working now for the resource pack. I gotta stop calling it a texture pack now, right? Okay, so there's some sheep. I don't care about you guys, but I would like to see some chickens. Good God, man. Jungle or not jungle, I guess desert chickens. Alright, what's that? Do I see one? No. See, it's tough to tell because of all the snow here now, but alright. We got some pigs. Man. Still no planes this way either. I'm not really pleased about that, because I'm definitely going to have a little bit of a hike to find horses, I think. But we'll get it solved. One other thing I did, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I did bring a bed with me, so if I get too far from home and it starts to get dark out, I will go ahead and just park it for the night and see how it goes. So, alright, ooh, that's an interesting cave. I'm not going to bother going in there, but interesting. Alright, so I guess maybe in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and I'll just switch this to a vignette, because it seems like I'm going to be hunting around for a while for chickens and or horses. I guess whoever I find first wins, right? So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go into vignette mode, and we'll see what I can see. Okay guys, so here we are. We made it back with our chickens. Wonder if I can, yeah, there we go. Good deal. I wasn't sure how I was going to break that lead. Those are interesting. Kind of a neat little tool, but yeah, okay. So now we've got some chickens, obviously, so we can start collecting, I guess we can start collecting eggs is what we want to get here from these guys. So once we have enough eggs, then we'll be able to populate our chicken farm that we're going to be building here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a chest going over here, and we'll start chucking eggs in there every time we get them. Unfortunately, as you guys saw, I did not see any horses out there, so that's still going to be a little bit of a challenge for us, but we'll worry about them in another episode. Obviously right now I just want to get a bunch of chickens down in here and a bunch of eggs so that we can start populating the chicken farm once we're ready to. So now that we have our stock in place, let's go ahead and start building some of the interior guts of this thing. Tell you something else too, I think this is going to be a little more challenging to build than the one that I was doing. Obviously it's going to be a little more challenging to build than the one in my creative world, because I've actually got to come up with the materials, but moreover, more difficult than that I think is the fact that getting up and down the heights that I need to get inside of that thing is kind of a pain in the ass as well. So I guess let's get some, well, let's just get a whole stack of that. I don't think it really much matters. And I'm not worried too much about what materials I use when we're building on the inside of those guys, of the chicken either. Don't know that I really care what it looks like on the inside, since I'm not going to ever really see that. There we go. That should be plenty of those. Let's actually file away some of the junk that I picked up. Oak sapling, yeah, damn. I was kind of hopeful that that oak sapling was a jungle sapling, because I don't know that I've even bothered to get any of those yet. So I'll put my leads in here along with my saddle, and that will be for another day along with the bed, because I have a feeling we'll be cruising all over the world trying to find that. So put my dirt away here, and let's, I guess, head on over. So, and you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I might actually have the stuff that I need to get the stuff started already inside the chicken, but that's okay. It's always good to have a little more than a little less, so we'll see how that works out for me. Get up inside this old bad boy, and yep, there we go. Huh. So alright, we have way more slabs than we're going to need, and we have way more cobblestone than we're going to need, but that's alright. It's a good start. Alright, let me move that here, and we'll use some dirt, because we're going to need to pillar up inside this dude's head. Now, the one good thing that I do know about this, about this basic build, ah, damn it, seriously? Alright guys, because zombies are so obnoxious, I am going to go ahead and crash. I should have brought a bed in here with me, but alright, I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. Alright, it's morning now. So, what I was going to say before nighttime so rudely interrupted us, one of the nice things about this build is I do remember my starting points are actually inside the very center of the chicken's head. So, what I'm making right here is this is going to be our chicken receptacle, I guess, for lack of a better term. This is where I'm going to actually take the eggs that I'm trying to collect right now from the chickens that we just picked up. This is where I'm going to chuck them and try and make actual chickens. So the way, well, you guys have seen it in the test world. The way this will work is the chickens will lay their eggs in here, and then we're going to move them via hoppers into a cooker system that's going to be set up right around here. So I think that's going to be high enough for us. So let's go ahead and we'll get our floor put in here. Is that going to be right? No, that's going to be our floor height. Yeah, that's right. And then I can throw a hopper right underneath that thing. Can I reach them from here? Ah, sweet. Ah, but of course I don't have any in there. Okay, so I gotta make some hoppers, but we'll throw a hopper here that's gonna go down, and we'll send them over, I think, to right about here, and then we'll send it down into a dispenser that'll be at this height, so it'll all be below the top height of his back. But let's go ahead and get some. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some hoppers, and I'll be right back here, guys. Okay, guys, so I think I have enough hoppers now. Might have gone a little ape shit with them, but we'll see. I guess first of all, I'm gonna use my little trick that I like to do. I think that's where I'm gonna need to have my last hopper, and it's gonna need to point down because the last dirt block, this one, is actually gonna be our dispenser pointing over. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess at this point I should be able to knock these two guys out and just attach to those. So let me go ahead and do that. Alright, good deal. Now, I don't want any of those little bastards getting out of here. So, well, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just use some half slabs to close off the gap down here. Ultimately, I may block this thing in totally, because otherwise I'm going to have chickens. I mean, there's definitely going to be a possibility that chickens... Oh, thank you very much. That the chickens could pop out of there. So I want to minimize the chance of that, just because I know that chicken behavior is a little wonky, and the less chance of them getting out of there, the better. So that's as easy as it is for the first step there, is getting that guy built in. Now I need to throw in our first dispenser, which I did have the wherewithal to get this stuff set up. So I'm going to pop... Well, let's actually do it this way. I'm going to throw a block in back here. It's going to make it easier to place that guy. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to place our dispenser, hopefully... Nah, I don't want you facing down. Get out of there. I'm not making a bomber. There we go. So, now what we've done is any of the chickens that will live in here ultimately, kind of like the slaves that we have living up there, any chickens that live in there, when they poop out an egg, they'll be on top of that half slab, and because of the way the half slabs work with these guys, it should slip right down through there and into our hopper chain and then get popped into our dispenser. So we'll have to build a little timer on this thing so that anytime an egg goes in there, it'll spit it out. Because of what I was just saying before, it doesn't really matter. We can spit those guys out, and we don't have to worry about cooking baby chickens or anything like that, because we're going to have them low enough that it's not going to matter. So I guess let's figure out our height here. I think that's going to be that guy. I'm actually going to go ahead and just throw some solid blocks in here, and we'll build around these things. So you have enough room? Yeah, that'll be enough room. Okay, so I want to have a solid there, solid there. Yeah, I know how I'm going to do this. Alright, sorry guys. Nope, don't want you there though. Have other plans for you, man. What goes on? What goes on? That's a new one. Can you guys tell it's kind of late here? Okay, so there's that. Now, I want to have a dispenser facing in here, so I've got to do a little weirdness here. So I'm going to pop that out, and then that out. And so that's where our chickens will hang out while they mature before they get cooked. Now let's see if we can pop around this way and get a better angle on that thing. No, probably not. I'm just going to go down a block. Yeah, we'll just drop down all together here. Actually, could probably place it right from here. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So that's our dispenser that's going to actually house our lava. And then I'm going to do the same drill here. So I want our half slab not to be right there, because our chickens will be standing on it. But I think if I throw in, actually, I think if I throw it in here, I should have just blocked that hole up. Oh well. Yeah, then we can do that. And then I'm going to do the same drill with placement of these slabs down here so that they can't get out. And it's getting dark out, so I'm going to head back now to the bed and not be interrupted by marauding zombies. I'll tell you what, this is not making me happy. This is twice now, these guys are glitched out of there. And, oh man, and the big one too. Alright guys, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. We might have some problems with chickens. If they can glitch out of here, the question will be, can they glitch out of our cooker that we're making here? We might have to fight some zombies because I'm not going to lose my chickens. Come here, you. Get off of there. Why does this guy keep hiding? Come on. Great. Man, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to get this guy out of here finally. There we go. And I'm going to get attacked by a zombie from 400 blocks away or whatever it is. Come on. Yummy seeds for you. You too, you little white bastard. Yeah, I can tell already, man. I'm going to get jumped. Come on. Alright, now back in here again. Yep, there's a zombie coming. See what I mean? There's two of them coming, actually. So, alright. Bring it on. Safely ensconced. You guys have no hope of getting to me. Not that I'm too worried about them anyway. They're just zombies, right? Yeah, I'm not really a fan of how that works anymore. Mojang, zombies are a little not OP, I guess, but annoying is a good word for them. Alright, well, we got their tasty XP bubbles. Okay guys, I'm going to go head back up to my house and sleep off the night. Hopefully we won't be bothered by any more of those guys. And we'll see about the chickens, man. I'm really kind of nervous about the functionality of that thing now. Okay guys. Wow, looks like there's a zombie even this far up, so we were being tracked back to our home before I even conked out. Yeah, okay, I'm really starting to get a little nervous about these chickens. I have an idea on how I can at least keep them in here, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do with them. That's actually not gonna work. This is gonna be the wrong size. There we go. Pick up the water. I'm thinking if I make this a 5x5, is this a 4x5 right now? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, it needs to be a 6x6. If I widen this thing, if these guys keep getting out, I think I have an idea on how I can control them. I'll just do what I did with the villages up here in the Iron Golem farm. We'll make this thing a 6x6 cell, and we'll put water in each corner, so we'll force them into the middle, which will work great for this, but that's not going to help us with the chicken here. So I'm a little bit nervous, I guess, is probably a good word, for how I'm going to work with those guys. Alright, tell you what, let me throw my wool back in here, since I had to destroy that thing. I'm going to hang on to my white wool. I think the next thing we'll do is maybe we'll finish up the exterior of the chicken a little bit on the sides and on the back and stuff like that. So, because I really am kind of wanting to think a little on these chickens at this point. I'm really not happy that they're escaping so easily. So, bear with me on this, guys. You know what? Actually, let's do this. I'm going to throw these two guys in there. And we'll take these guys down. Alright. Yeah, so if anybody's got some thoughts on how I can control these guys a little better, I would be more than welcome to hear them. And actually, you know what? Because I have them here, let's go ahead and we'll plug this hole up so I don't keep falling down through it. That's going to be what this is going to be. This little hopper chain is going to be what collects our cooked chicken once we get it out of there. So this is I guess the basic fundamentals of the build. At this point I think we're down to redstone stuff. I do want to check the length on this video some. I'm going to go off camera because I'm saying something to you like that. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, and I'll fill in these holes here that we've got, and I'll check the length on this thing, and we'll see if we have some time to build in at least some of the redstone functionality on this. So I'll see you guys in a couple. Alright, so now we have a giant chicken. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just checked the length of this, and we are absolutely out of time for now. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased, at least with how the 3D pixel art sculpture, or whatever you want to call it, of the chicken has turned out. I think he looks pretty damn good. Like I said, I am a little nervous about getting these guys out. Look, that little shit just glitched out. Getting these guys to stay in there might be hard. I have a bad feeling we might end up with like chicken rain all around here of these guys getting out and then inside and all that. Yeah, there's two of them. Damn it. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this, guys. We'll see how it's gonna work out, but yeah, I'm gonna keep building this thing regardless, and who knows, man, maybe Mojang will fix the glitchy chickens or something. But if that doesn't work, we have to go to plan B on chickens, and that would be no chickens for a little while, but we'll see. Alright, anyway, like I said, this has gotten long, so please like this if you liked what you saw. It helps me out a lot, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I will catch you guys next time.